Hey guys, welcome back to Suck Less Saturday. I am your host, Neil. I've got a new one for you, something I want you to think about. Usually I've got a guest with me. This guy don't talk much. I've got something that I want to talk to you about that maybe will help you suck a little bit less this week.
You need a shot timer because that which gets measured gets worked on. The Range Tech Timer is the official timer of Active Self-Protection because it is versatile, reliable, feature-rich, and very economical. Check out all it can do at the link below.
All right, so those of you that know me know that maybe I had a birthday this week. In fact, as I'm recording this, it's today. Steph is telling me that I need to sign up for an AARP card. I don't know, is there that much gray here? There's a lot of gray there. But anyway, the grandkids seem to like it, so it's going to stick around for a while. I don't care what anybody else says, right? But anyway, so something that we think about a lot in the world of handguns and self-defense is being prepared and having everything ready when the worst day happens, right? Something that is also hit very big, there's been a big wave of people getting dot guns, getting dots put on their guns. So right here is my VP9. I'm going to show you here, that thing is cleared. There's nothing in the chamber. I've got no magazine there whatsoever. But the dot has really come on big in the last, I don't know, 3-4 years really, but this last year, man, it seems like every class we go to, there's as many dots as there are any other as iron guns. People are getting to use these things a lot. You can see, man, mine is dirty. Holy cow. That's the next part. We'll talk about that here in a second. One thing that is a really bad day is when you draw your gun and you press out and there is no dot. There's a few reasons for that. The biggest reason is the battery is dead. These batteries are designed to last for a couple of years, 10,000 hours, some of them say, and that kind of thing. However, I've had batteries go dead. New batteries go dead at the worst time. So clearly you got to have some backup irons and that kind of thing. It's pretty rare. You do see it, but it's pretty rare. One of the ways to take care of that is to switch out the batteries, right? A great time to do that is on your birthday. So dot folks, I don't even know who I learned this from. This might be a Scott Jelinski thing. I think maybe that was from him. Could have been John Johnston that told me this. But basically they told me, hey, put a mark on your calendar on your birthday, go around and put all new batteries in your dot guns. The batteries are supposed to last 2 to 3 years. If you put a new one in every year, they are not expensive. They don't cost much. And on the worst day of my life, I want to pull this gun up and I want to see a red dot right there, or a green circle if you're a Holosun person, a red dot if you're a Trijicon, an RMR folk, whatever. You want to see a dot when that thing comes. I carry an SRO because it's the biggest window out there, and it's like looking through the windshield of my pickup when I go. One of the really nice things here, and I'm going to get in nice and tight. I think you can see that, but right in here is the battery cover. So I don't have to remove this dot to change the battery. Take a Phillips head screwdriver, screw that thing out, put my new battery in, screw it back in. Theoretically, my 0 is still supposed to be there, and every time I've done it, it has been. However, I would recommend that after you change that out, go shoot a few rounds and confirm your 0 is still there. Worst day happens, if you see a dot and it's in the wrong place, it's a worse day yet. So make sure that we get that part taken care of. If you're an RMR guy, those things are heavy duty. People love them. There's nothing wrong with them. I carried one for quite a while. I really liked it. I just prefer the bigger window. But that RMR, heavy duty, can take a beating. I've seen some folks really pound on things with them and they hold up. The challenge that I have with them is, other than the small window, is you have to remove the whole unit to change the battery out. So do that. Then go check your 0. The Holosun, I think some of those you can change from the top without removing. You can get into them from the side or the top as well. Again, once you change that battery, go recheck your 0. Life is good, right? So that's the big one for this week. Check your dots, check all of your batteries, make sure everything's good. I don't care if your birthday was 6 weeks ago, maybe, now if you check 6 weeks ago, you're off the hook, right? But if you had a birthday recently and you didn't check your dots, go check them now. If you have a birthday 6 months from now, but you know it's been a while, go check your dot. And if you did it on your birthday, go check your calendar for next year. Make sure that you're reminded to do it then, all right? That's one way that you're gonna suck a little bit less. Doesn't take any time, doesn't take any ammo to do this. Just hustle through it. You can get them all taken care of right away. The next step to this week's Suck Less is actually something that I'm going to have you do other than checking batteries. You can see here, I don't typically dress in the button down. However, like I said, it's my birthday. We're getting ready to go out. We're gonna have a nice night. The whole family's getting together. Gonna eat all of the meat at the Brazilian Carnival. I win when I go to those places. They don't like it when I walk through the door. I'm gonna win tonight. But one thing I am gonna do is I'm gonna dress a little different than I typically do. This is not my tactical hobo, polo that I'm typically wearing. This is a nice button-down shirt. Hopefully I look a little bit more presentable. So what I have noticed is when we change clothes and we go away from what we typically do, things are a little bit different in our draw. So what I'm going to ask you to do is put on your, not Sunday best, but I'm going to go out and hang out and have a good time, but I want to look nice clothes. So if it's a pulled out, a button-down shirt like this, if it's a suit jacket or something along those lines, put that on and do one round of dry fire. 10, 15 minutes of it is all you got to do. Just get a feel for it so you understand that if the worst day of your life comes when you're dressed nice or different than you typically are, that you're ready. Because in this case, I don't know if you can see me here, it's going to be difficult for me to do my fig leaf. Right? Now, I don't want to rip buttons and I don't want to ruin my clothes and I don't want you to either, but I'm going to work through what is that going to look like to draw my gun when I'm wearing something that's different than what I typically draw. Now, in the worst case, I'm probably just going to rip these buttons off and go to work and do my thing. But I don't want to ruin my clothes and I want to do it right. So I'm going to pull my shirt up a little bit from the back. I'm an untucked guy. I can tuck this thing in and I'll probably do that off camera here in a little bit and work on this a little bit before we head out of town. So I'm going to pull this back of my shirt up a little bit and I'm just going to practice getting that thing up, pressing out, seeing my dot. Okay, and then how am I going to reholster carefully? Now, you can do this with your nice clothes. You can do this with your heavy coat. You can do that. I know we did one with gloves a while back that Brian did on a Mantis Monday. But these are the kind of things that we should think through as a self-defender that, self-defense doesn't always happen when we're ready for it. It happens a lot of times when we're not ready for it. We see it on video all of the time. So this week, check your batteries. Put it on the calendar for next year. Make sure that everything is cool so that when the day comes, whether it's a range trip or the worst happens and you need your gun to defend your life, that you've got a dot, right? The other thing is check the rest of your stuff. You just as well make sure that everything is working. Maybe clean your gun. I know John's not, we talk a lot, and I do this too. We don't clean our guns all the time because we shoot a fair amount. Right now, with ammo being what it is and hard to come by, we're doing a ton of dry fire and guns will get dusty and dry and we don't lube them enough. So maybe clean your gun. That's cool. You can do that. That's totally up to you. I'm not going to be at your gunfight, so I don't care what you do. I'm just giving you the advice. I'm probably going to go clean mine after this weekend anyway, just because I'm due. I've shot way too many thousands of rounds. But anyway, check your batteries, clean your gun, spend a little bit of time doing something in dry fire that you don't normally do. So if you're a polo person, put on a button down. If you're a button down person, put on a polo. If you are used to drawing with all those kind of different shirts, put on a jacket, a coat, some gloves, do some stuff that is normal to you. Now, if you live in Texas, of course, it gets cold in Texas sometimes recently, right? Put on your heavy jacket, your big gloves, try to get that gun out and see what it's like. Now, the big thing here is this is dry fire. Unload your gun. Please barrel block that thing if you've got one and do the work that way so that you can do it safely and effectively and understand what it feels like. So when that day comes, if it comes when you're wearing the coat, the gloves, the button-down shirt, that you can do what you got to do to defend your life. Might help you suck a little bit less if the worst happens. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me.